Teeny Devil's come in here and just give it one, yeah. It's okay, you need the actual, like, you need your phone on the desktop, so you need to have it.
Yeah. Welcome everyone to today's Tech Talk. We'll just give it a couple of moments for everyone to arrive and then we'll jump in. So while we're waiting for everyone to arrive, I've just got the AAT website up. Matt, can you just give me a heads up? You can see the website at the moment?
Yeah.
Perfect. So for anyone that's new to our Tech Talks, welcome. We run these every last Thursday generally of the month. And today, due to the big QuickBooks conference on tomorrow, we're running it on the last Wednesday. So anytime you want to jump in and learn about a new app for yourself or your clients, make sure you join us on the last Thursday of each month. You can find previous Tech Talks recorded under the resources section and then going to the Tech Talk webinars. So we've covered quite a range of webinars and topics from really technical side apps to apps that would benefit your clients in sales, marketing, procedures, you name it. So make sure you jump on and have a look through the previous videos that we've got. And today's session will also be recorded. So if you don't get a chance to get the whole meeting in, or someone you know has registered and didn't make it today, that's fine. They'll be able to view the recording on the website under this resources section here. So today we're joined luckily by Bonjoro, and we've got Matt and Grant from Bonjoro who are going to be taking us through a presentation shortly. So if you've got any questions throughout the presentation, you can use the Q&A functionality. So if you look in your Zoom window, you'll see a Q&A option. Any questions that you have throughout the presentation, feel free to write them in there, and we'll be able to field them to Matt and Grant throughout the session, and they'll take time to answer those when possible. So make sure you take advantage of that. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Matt and Grant from Bonjoro. Take it away.
Hey guys, thanks for having us along today. My name is Matt, Papa Bear at Bonjoro.
And I'm Grant.
So we are based here in Sydney. So we're a tech company founded out of Sydney. Customers all over the world right now, but we build all of our products here. And so we always like to take extra special time with our Australian users and customers, and we're always able to help you guys out. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to chat you through a little bit about what Bonjoro is and why we built it. I'll then walk through and just jump straight into tech and show you guys how it all works and how you can use it with your business or how your clients can potentially use it. I'll then take a little bit of time to answer any questions around the actual product. And then we'll wrap up. We'll go through some of our use cases of users and again, why they use it and where the kind of business is going and what it is we're looking to change as the way that people do business today. So that in mind, I'm going to hop on and I'll just share across our screen. So let's go on to desktop.
Perfect.
Okay. So Bonjoro, so we help you engage and activate more customers with perfectly timed personal videos. Now, to explain what this means, I just want to take you through a bit of a story. So we ran a consultancy. So me, Grant, and another guy based here in Sydney. And this consultancy did some very specific services for large agencies. And most of our clients, not by choice, but by nature, ended up being in London, New York, and Paris, just because that's where all the large agency headquarters were. And for that business, being a consultancy, it really was built on face-to-face interactions, high-value ticket projects, very much customer-centric. And so we would have to go in and pitch, show our services, talk through. There was some products involved as well because we do build products. Obviously build those relationships and then retain those relationships despite the fact that most of our customers were on the other side of the world. And so we had a website. We had leads coming in, and this business was called Verbate and still runs today. And we would get inquiries coming in naturally when we were asleep. So we would have, the head of insight for Ogilvy in London would sign up come in from a lead, and I'd be asleep, and we'd come in the next day, and we'd have some automated messages that went out to try and engage these leads and get them to conversations so we could go to demo. And to be honest, at the beginning, it worked well, but as more and more companies started to come online, everything got busier, we did see our response rates drop down quite significantly. And so I think our response rates were around probably 20%, which was okay industry-wise, but not good enough for us as a business. So what we did is we built a bit of a hack, and we thought, look, whenever we get in a meeting room with a client, we don't have a problem winning them over. The product's great. We're good at sales. But doing on the other side of the world is hard when we're not part of that process. So we built a little hack, and whenever we had a new lead come in, it would send them to my phone, and every morning I would take this ferry to work. I don't know how many of you live in Sydney. I used to live in Manly. I would take the ferry to work from Manly, and I would have a list of all the users who signed up that night, and I would send each one of them a video. So for instance, I'd have Joe from Ogilvy sign up. I'd be on the front of the ferry with the wind blowing in my hair. Probably couldn't hear much of what I said, but I get on video and say, "Hey, John, saw you sign up from Ogilvy in London. Awesome to have you. Get in touch with us. We already work with Mars and Procter & Gamble and Unilever, who I see you also work with, etc., etc. Look, we're based in Sydney, as you can see, but I will be in London in 6 weeks' time. We'd love to come in and pitch you. There's the Opera House. Hope you like it." What we found was by taking the time to do these videos and sending them off, packaged up into an email to that client, we tripled our response rates overnight. And this was great. I'm very happy with it. And people would basically respond, and they would say, "Look, I can't quite understand what you're saying, but it's pretty funny. You guys seem pretty creative. You should come in and see us." And that's kind of how it went. And we carried on for 6 months, and we ended up booking a lot more demos, a lot more projects, built the business off the back of that. And all it was is that we were taking a minute each day to actually personally connect with these individuals. No one had really seen videos come through in email before. And it kind of just surprised them and delighted them, and obviously worked for us. Now, long story short, eventually one of his clients asked if they could use this with their own sales and their own leads. And so we let them use it, and they started sending videos to their leads that came in. This was in the UK. And then I think when one of that customer's customers also came back to us and said, "Can we use it with our sales?" We kind of thought, well, let's build this as a small product and let people use it themselves. And that was 2 years ago. And we essentially released it, and then Bonjoro just kind of grew organically from there. So people just started to use it because a lot of industries, which were obviously support-centric, customer-centric, started to find that they could make better headway and get more responses by taking a bit more time to send videos to new leads and customers. So that was essentially why we built it. It kind of just ran away from there. We never expected it to be its own business, but now it is. And what I'll do is I'll show you now. I'll take 5-10 minutes and just show you how the platform works. Then I'll answer a few questions potentially around the platform, and then we'll go on and look at how some of the users use it. So I'll just switch over to the website. So this is bonjoro.com. It's built a software that anyone can sign up to online. So as we did in those early days, we still use Bonjoro ourselves. And so if you ever do sign up for Bonjoro, any of your clients sign up for Bonjoro, they will get every single person who signs up will get a welcome message from somebody on my team. We still use it to onboard as we ever did in the beginning, and it still works obviously for us as it does for our customers. So that means I can show you how we use the platform ourselves as a customer. So you come in, ignore this list of users right now, I'll come back to that, but we come in and we say we want to send a Bonjoro. So very simply, we want to send a message to a person. I will pop in an email here. So I'll use one of my other emails. Oops, sorry. Welcome a new customer. And we'll press create and record. So this will go through. Give it a second.
Demonstrators curse.
Demonstrators. Anyway, this will, fingers crossed, open up a recording window. I just thought it might be that this might be being affected the fact that we have Zoom open with a webcam.
Yeah, so it doesn't have access to the webcam.
What I'll do is I'll show you instead, because we can't use a webcam twice. Let's jump out of this. What I will show you is that we can also, so here's the Matthew Barnett's in there anyway, ready to record. We also have an app that basically just duplicates the web platform. So you can use the app or the platform. You can use the web platform to do desktop recording. So I'm going to switch over to, this is my Android phone. So we'll see here that if we refresh this list, it just repeats the same as here. So instead, we're going to use this. So I'll, the same, hopefully it stays connected. Hang on. Come on. Here we go. Let's make sure the cable doesn't come out. So we'll press record here. Come on, cable. Hopefully this will keep going. Okay, so I'll hit record. And we record a video for Matt today. So, hey, Matt, I saw you're a new customer. Welcome aboard. Awesome to have you with us. Now, when you do a Bonjoro and you send them to people, the whole point of doing this is you're having an ask. So when we onboard our customers, we say, if you have any questions around using Bonjoro, we are human, we are here to help. We're not a bot team. Please reach out and let us know how we can help you out. And get back to us and we'll give you a hand. So we finish that video. It's on here. You can review the video, look at it. We can write a message to Matt as well. And then essentially select our design when this loads and send this off. Okay. Okay, send. Excuse that it keeps flicking. I think my cable's a little bit dodgy. Okay, so that message will now go off. If I go back to here, you should see that this will disappear as this uploads. Okay, and it's going up. So when you send out, there's a results tab in Bonjoro where you can come in and view all the messages that you've sent out as this comes through. Okay, so in a minute or so, you'll see that message I just recorded come through here. You can see I was doing some earlier today. So I've been sending out Bonjoros to our signups, and you saw the results of when people view them and open them here. Do you want to put that onto Wi-Fi for me, maybe? Yeah, and they come through here. So when the Bonjoro goes out, essentially it is sent into an email, and what I'll do is I will pull up one I sent earlier, just in case we had this. And what we'll see is that here's a message I sent out to a customer that we had sign up earlier on.
Hey Mel, Matt here from the Bonjoro team in Sydney, Australia. So you just signed up. I want to say welcome on board from across the pond. There's the old Harbour Bridge.
Etc. So Melanie gets this video, and then she can reply and send me a message back. But you'll see that on the video, there's a what we call a call to action. So there's a getting started link in this message that she can click and go and engage with the platform. This entire area is custom design as well. So when you do send Bonjoros or videos to your customers, it does come through with custom design. I think that other email's gone now, so I'll just check in my email. Okay, so here we go. So here's the one I just recorded here. And here is the message. And we go on to watch the video. And there it is. So you'll see as well in the email, we actually have a GIF that goes out that actually replicates what we've just done. So it gets people to engage and click and watch on the message and so on. So as I said, the results will then come into this results tab and you see what's happened here. Now, one of the things I mentioned here is that you can customize the design. So in settings on Bonjoro, we have what we call message templates. And all this is that when I'm sending a Bonjoro to a customer, I'm picking what we call design for this Bonjoro. And in here, you'll see there are custom logos, custom backgrounds. We have a custom CTA. So the point here is, again, is if you're, let's say, onboarding new leads, you want that lead to book on a call or book onto a demo or to go and download a document to read or to go and engage with the platform. You can put whatever you like in here. The point is, if you're taking time to spend 30 seconds to welcome a new customer or to engage with a lapsed user, you want to get them to go and perform an action. And that's the whole point of these videos. They will get more opens, they will get more views. Make sure that people go and do a custom call to action that will help build your business. There's a template that goes out in the email, so you can change all the custom lines, custom subject lines. You can change the message text as well. You can design these so they look like they've come from your business. Now, I want to come back, last of all, to our account again. Now, as I mentioned, we have you see a lot of people that have come through on the left here. the most powerful thing about Bonjoro is, in addition to being able to send messages, is that we have what we call a workflow engine. So if you use any kind of CRM or mailing list, you can plug it into Bonjoro. And what we do is we automate adding leads into Bonjoro. So we use a CRM and we pull information from that CRM that tells us about their customer. So when I record a video for them, we can see more information. So if I look at Matt here, I can see that he's signed up from Salesforce. I can see he signed up 5 hours ago and he's done X, Y, and Z in my CRM. So that when I record a video, I can obviously personalize this to that individual. I can show you here, if we open up a new incognito window and we go to Bonjoro itself. Again, imagine this might be your contact us form on the website. Whether you use MailChimp or Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign. If I sign up a random account here, test, then once that person has signed up into Bonjoro, we'll skip this part. Then if I go back to my account here, you'll see that that new sign up has been posted straight into my list. So that means that I can then go and record a message for that person. If you're using the app, you actually get a notification. And what we've generally found is that, we especially if you're using this for leads and converting new leads, obviously the quickest you can get back to someone, the more powerful it is. If you can get back to them in the first hour, you have a much higher chance of them engaging and then replying to that message. There's a bunch of other settings and customization, but I won't go into that too much now. Essentially, the idea is here, you can either add in people one by one or groups to go and send messages to. You can upload CSVs, or you plug into your Infusionsoft, your ActiveCampaign, your MailChimp, whatever CRM you use, and you automate the adding of customers into the list when they perform certain actions, such as joining a sign-up list or being added to a tag. Hope that makes sense. So before I carry on, I'll just check and see if there's any questions to answer on Zoom. Let's have a look. How would I? Oops.
So just a reminder, any questions that you have, you can type into the Q&A field so that Matt can answer those for you. So if you've got any questions so far, just click on the Q&A and type them in, and then we can get them answered live for you.
Okay. In the meantime, I'll keep going and then we can stop at the end as well. So in terms of who uses Bonjoro, generally we get used, we're not defined by kind of industry, we get used by kind of job. So a lot of people use us for onboarding new customers, as I mentioned, onboarding new leads. We'll also have people using us to reactivate lapsed customers, so customers they haven't heard from in a while. And then we also see customers using us during projects to check in, see how people are going, and make them know that they're cared for by that company. Here's a few examples of people who send these out. NPS increases, huge open rates, and every now and again you'll get customers who, when they receive a message like this, will go out there and share it online, and there's the video that comes through.
Hey, Ellie, thank you so much for joining Power Up Podcasting. Just want to film this quick video for you just to welcome you.
I think the point with Bonjoro is that when you're doing these, it's not about having a high definition, perfectly performed video. Being authentic and being yourself, no matter your business, is really important. People want to connect with you as a human. So doing these in your kitchen, doing these on your coffee break, that's the content that works the best when we see it sent out. Those are the ones that people most engage with because they go, oh, this is great. So-and-so on is just like me. He's taking time out of his day to send me a message. I feel valued. And that makes them come in, convert, and stay longer as a customer. I mentioned in terms of branding, you can change these videos and design them however you like. Obviously, if you can get cats in the video, works wonderfully. So again, we work with every company we work with tech companies, we work with financial companies, we work with a lot of SMEs, we do work with accountants and wealth managers and advisors, lawyers all through Australia. We work with not-for-profits as well, all using this to thank customers, essentially. But it does take a bit of time. It's not an automation piece. You do not set up one video that goes out to everyone. It is about, spending a minute on a new customer, which is absolutely worth it if you can go and convert those customers. I just want to chat very quickly about something that Gary Vee mentioned. So if you know this guy, Gary Vee talks a lot about engaging in marketing and growing customer base. He's probably the kind of world expert on this industry. And he calls this exact thing we're doing the Ricky Henderson effect. And what he mentions is that as a small child, Ricky Henderson, obviously none of us being American, we wouldn't know who that is, but he's a famous baseball player. And Gary would go and watch this guy play baseball every single day. And once when he left the game, he looked up at Gary. He stopped walking out the stadium, and he winked and smiled and then carried on. And as Gary said, he was 12 years old. This guy probably winked and smiled at the 40 children in that area of the stadium. But from that day, the fact that he took those 5 seconds to stop and look at him and engage with him, he then brought every single Ricky Henderson baseball card. He brought all the posters. He followed him for the next 30 years. And now when he stands up on stage in front of literally tens of thousands of people, he talks about Ricky Henderson. And all Ricky Henderson did was stop for 5 seconds. And yet that's compounded by word of mouth that now thousands of people know his name around the world that would never have ever heard of him. I think the point here is that when you're doing these human connections, you never know where they're going to go. The exact words are, like, taking a moment to acknowledge another human being has dramatically more ROI than any internet expert understands. Yeah, if you take the time to acknowledge someone, they're going to be more inclined to agree with you, to believe what you're saying, and more importantly, they're more likely to buy whatever you're selling. Now, obviously, in service industries, you do see a lot more of this. In tech industries, there is traditionally none of this, but there's a balance in between. So I mentioned workflows. Again, this is really powerful. If you do use Bonjoro, make sure you set this up. We do plug into Infusionsoft ActiveCampaign. We'll even feed results back into Slack, so you can always keep an eye on how your messages are performing. And again, they should perform better than any emails or lead gen you do. Last point here is, if anything else, learn from your barista. Obviously, we all love our coffee in this country. Baristas perform hundreds, if not thousands, of customer interactions every single day. And I don't know about yours, but I know mine. I probably turn up 50% for the coffee and 50% for the barista themselves. Every single morning, they spend 5 minutes. We have a little chat. They make me smile. I get my coffee and I go on about my day. So the reality that if a barista opens next door and their coffee is, probably even of a slightly better quality, I'm still going back to Greg every single day because I've been going there for the last year. He takes the time every day with me. He's super friendly and he takes time to engage with me. So again, these people are performing this thousands and thousands of times a day, spending 30 seconds on a customer, and it's working because you're going back every single day. That same attitude can be taken to anything you're doing online. So in a growing world of online human connections, human connections matter more than ever to compete and stand out, we believe. And most people are not doing this. Like I say, it's all about automation. It's all about your processes. Spend time in your relationships and people and automate the process behind that. And last but not least, in case you think that people selling Bonjoros are 23-year-old Instagrammers, I'll show you one of our best users here in Australia, who runs a large wealth management company. And here is the kind of message that he will send to people.
Hi, Jacob. Have you got that on video? Chances. Anyway, get on it. Thanks for the referral. I'll pass it on to Paulie. We look after your clients really well and have a great day.
The most our users are business owners. They're not 24-year-olds. The average age, I think, is 35 plus. And again, it's just about taking that 30 seconds to engage with your customers and do it in as humanly way as possible. And that's it. That is a wrap.
Brilliant.
So, any questions, I guess, while we're here?
While people are writing questions, I've got one for you. So can you just take us through the standard process of onboarding in terms of they want to sign up? What's the first thing that we should do? And what are the options available in terms of the sign up that you guys have?
So sign up. There's a completely free unlimited trial for 2 weeks. So This is one of those things, test these things. Don't take my word for it. Sign up. I would say pick out your last 10 leads, or potentially your last 10 new customers who you might not have met, especially if you're working remote, like we work remote with our accountants. and drop them a message through Bonjoro. So you simply sign up. It'll take you through a couple of steps. You don't need to worry about integrations to start with. You just add in an email, record a message, send it through to them, thank them for their business, or get them to jump on a call with you. Again, just stand out and see the kind of response rate you get to the kind of normal emails and automation that you might send out to signups that come through. If it's better than normal, wonderful, then follow that path and see how you go from there.
Brilliant. And if people want to do that, the best way is to go to the website. Is that correct?
Yeah. So if you go to the website and sign up, it takes 2 minutes to get to where you can send a message out. It's pretty simple. If you do sign up, you will hear from our team because we still do onboard every single one of our users. So you'll hear back from one of us at some point. If you have any questions, again, like we are human, we're here based, like headquartered in Australia, but we have a team in the UK and the States. So you can pretty much get hold of us 24/7. If you need a hand, we'll help you out. But it's pretty easy. Get in there, test it out. Don't invest too much time. Just give it a go and see where you end up from there.
Yeah, perfect. And so do you find most people use the mobile phone as the platform for taking the video? Like, is there other options besides mobile, like webcam and things like that as well?
Yeah, so we tried the webcam, and I forgot that because Zoom's running, the webcam won't work. So most people probably start off having it go on the webcam. It's quite easy. You just press record, opens the webcam, and off you go. Once you start using it, everyone really defaults to mobile. Because again, it's not about the difference is if you do a video on a webcam, and this is for any video you're creating in your business, you're going to be sitting in front of a wall, probably in the office, maybe with down lighting, and you'll probably be in work mode in your head. Once you take your mobile and you do a video on the way to the coffee shop or on the way to work in the morning or on your lunch break, or even just walk around the office, the quality of content you create just jumps by 2, 3, 5 times because you're more relaxed and engaging with the mobile. You're moving around, which is more interesting. You just tend to become more conversational. And again, it tends to resonate with the recipients from what we've seen from hundreds of thousands of videos much, much better.
Brilliant. I also think it looks like a great way to thank your clients as well. Like, do you see a lot of people using it as like a thank you to existing clients, just to send them a little bit of a warm and fuzzy message?
Yeah, and really, I see a really good use case here where we have a bunch of mortgage brokers using Bonjoro, and so when people get their mortgage approved and when they actually buy their first house, they'll get the whole company to stand up and kind of cheer and send a message for that. And the reason they're doing that is that what they want to do, they want to associate all that goodwill of getting a new house back to the mortgage company that got it them. And obviously they have other products. So they have other financial products that they sell on top of mortgage broking. And so when that user goes, oh yeah, it was you guys that helped me get the house, they then obviously come into the funnel and they start to become more of a customer for life and they start to buy other products. I think thanking is amazing. It's probably harder to measure from a direct ROI, but it's something that you do in everyday life and we probably don't do enough of, I think, in business.
Yeah, and it gets used quite frequently for, specifically thanking in more of like an e-commerce sort of situation. So after somebody makes a purchase, the owner of the e-commerce store thanks them so much, and then the trick there to get a really good ROI is asking them to leave a review or tell people about it. So you get the word of mouth marketing on top of the warm and fuzzies from the thank you. Yeah,
that's brilliant. I think that a lot of bookkeepers that offer training and setup as well, sometimes you only have that 1 or 2 interactions with a client. Be a great way to say that you really appreciated their time, and if they had any questions they can let you know, and that, if they take the time to leave you a review on the website or on the portal, let's say like QuickBooks Find a Pro Advisor site, it's a great way to get that interaction there as well.
Yeah, like I said, getting on video, it's awkward when you first, like for most of us when you first start. It's not a natural thing, but you have to stick with it and do 10, 15, and you definitely get over that hump, especially when you see how people respond. Like at some point we'll all be using video messaging. If you sit on ferries and trains and buses these days, you'll see people talking on video to family around the world. It's become more and more prevalent, but you do get used to it quite quickly. But you do need to go through a bit of a learning curve. So if you feel a bit nervous at first, that's completely normal.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone gets a little bit camera shy. myself included. But that's a great way just to add a bit of warmth if you're working remotely with someone or if you haven't been able to catch up with them in person for a while. So awesome. Do we have any other questions? Otherwise, I think we might wrap it up there. That's a good tight presentation, and we've covered the majority of questions that I can think of. If anyone has any questions, feel free to write them in now. Otherwise, if people have follow-up questions, what's the best email or contact area for them to use them at?
Yeah, so just contact us, matt@bonjoro.com with 2 T's, or grant@bonjoro.com. Otherwise, if you're on the website, you'll see there's a little help button in the corner, and we have live chat on that as well.
Great. Awesome. Well, really appreciate you guys joining us today. I think we might leave it there. That's a good half an hour session. And so, yeah, we'd like to thank Matt and Grant from Bonjoro for joining us. Reminders to everyone, today's session has been recorded. If you missed any of it, it'll be available under the resources section. And we'll see you all next month at our next Tech Talk.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.